Hey, what's going on? This is Jay Farrell. You listening to the Hard NOC Life podcast. What up, though?
Well, it's the NOC in full color. You see me? The Hard NOC Life. Comics, movies,
It's Hard NOC Life. I'm Keith.
Hi, I'm Dominic.
Happy Monday after San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Another Comic-Con you and I have not attended.
We didn't go. Watched it from the cheap seats. Yeah.
Do you miss it? Do you miss going to Comic-Con?
Yeah, I do. I kind of wanted to go this year. It becomes a bunch of logistics and well, anyway, it's boring.
Yeah.
We had good old times there. Haven't gone for a while.
Same.
Lingering that pandemic thing that happened when you're like, do I really need to do anything? Is it that crucial? Which is, I don't know. Do you miss it?
It's funny, like seeing every year around this time, every late January, late July. It's not late January. I wish it were late January. It's so fucking hot outside. But every late July, I get all of my, memories on social media, Facebook or whatnot. And it's all the photos from like 7 years ago when I last attended Comic-Con. And then the FOMO kicks in a little bit. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I remember going to parties and hanging out on the floor and stuff like that.
Yeah. It was a little bit like that very fun summer camp for a week.
Yeah.
You know. Um,
Because there was a streak. Like I went like every year, like 3 or 4 years in a row. And then,
yeah.
so now it's a streak of not having gone in 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. And we're older and a little cynical. If you're a nerd and have not gone to San Diego Comic-Con, go. It's
At least once. Yeah.
it's super fun and crazy. The thing that makes it like seem less essential is like how every like piece of news you would get from Comic-Con is now on the internet within 3 seconds. That's changed things, can we say? It's not like you don't feel like you have to be there for any actual crucial secret announcement.
Well, and I think the other thing that's kind of, happened with Comic-Con at least the post-pandemic Comic-Con, and I think this was actually starting to happen even pre-COVID, is that at least when it comes to movies and TV, they don't come anymore. Like Marvel wasn't there this year. There wasn't like a huge Marvel panel. James Gunn was there talking just about Peacemaker. It wasn't like, here's the DCU for the next 5 years. So like the Hall H experience, I think, is not as
well, you're talking about like
dominant as it used to be.
They did have D23 and yes, they have split off to other events, but I mean, remember they did announce all of that Doomsday Secret War things last year,
which we'll get to. That was going to be my segue to the main topic.
Okay.
But you're right. I mean, they did make their triumphant return last year, but they weren't there this year, so like it's not the crucial place to be where you learn everything about everything.
Yeah.
At Comic-Con.
Maybe they're emphasizing the secret part of Secret Wars this year. That's their theme.
I have some thoughts. We'll get there when we get to the Marvel conversation. But I mean, the biggest of the big two that came out was, as I said, James Gunn was on site this year. There was a whole Peacemaker, activation outside the convention center, and then they had their panel. Debuted the Peacemaker trailer for season 2. I don't know if you paid any attention to that, but I guess the main question is, we talked a little bit about Peacemaker in our Superman episode. You were kind of a fan-ish of the first season.
Oh yeah, the first season was good.
Season 2 is clearly set in the post-Superman universe.
Okay.
And Gunn has said they're going to address how this show kind of straddles the original DC universe and the new DC universe. But I guess my question to you is that, like, coming off of Superman, which was a huge hit, is going to, be the biggest DC movie in a long time. That hasn't happened in many years where we've had a big DC movie.
Yeah.
Kicking off this universe. Do you have any trepidation about like the wild shift in tone from Superman to Peacemaker? Or is that kind of like the cool thing about this new James Gunn universe?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Peacemaker is like, I think in James Gunn's like A
his
skill
wheelhouse.
Scott.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was
More
trying
so
not
than
to say the
Superman.
word. Trying not to say the word wheelhouse. But yeah, okay.
Sorry.
In his main wheelhouse, Superman is in a way branching out into his B wheelhouse, whatever that
Yeah, 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 yeah.
house is called. So I mean, and he brings his tone to everything. So yeah, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's gonna be that dramatic. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking.
Well, I mean, because to me, it's like you're right. Superman's the outlier, but Superman was also the foundation for the DC universe going forward. And I
Yes.
guess the reason I bring it up is that watching the trailer for season 2, this is the second trailer, I guess, but like the first official story trailer is part of the when I was lamenting the proliferation of cinematic universes was keeping everything straight.
Okay.
And there's this whole like James Gunn has been very upfront about like what's canon, what's not canon, and I'm trying to turn that part of my brain off and
Hmm.
just like let good stories be
Hmm.
good stories, but it's hard when
It's
like
hard.
like the reason I bring it up is Joel Kinnaman, who played the original Rick Flag, shows up in the trailer.
Hmm.
So they're tying this to that version of like clearly Suicide Squad is part of this universe. But
Hmm.
there's all the like remnants of the old Snyderverse that are a part of the Suicide Squad.
Hmm.
And I don't know. Maybe I'm just twisting myself into knots for no reason. And you're my therapist to tell me don't worry about continuity. But I'm trying to turn the canon part of my brain off, and I just
Okay.
trying to figure out like how much of the old DC universe should I give a shit about for this new DC universe? Because
Okay.
I thought
Well,
Superman was a great like fresh start, and I'm just reminded of like, oh, there's all these weird canon things we still have to reconcile. Or do we? I don't know. I'm pulling my hair out.
therapeutically, I'd say a couple things. One, you could just go back and watch The Suicide Squad, James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, because yeah, of course he's gonna draw people from that one. That was we forgot that movie because again, pandemic movie. But you know, that was. Are you talking about Joel Kinnaman from that movie, right?
Yeah, but he's
It's Rick
also
Flag.
the Rick Flag from the first Suicide Squad, right? Like the Suicide Squad is firmly in the DC EU as a sequel to the first Suicide Squad.
Y- Yeah, and
So
that
like
makes no. And by the way, that made no sense
at the
continuity
time.
wise. They
Yeah.
just did that. If you really closely follow Suicide Squad, those two things linking together didn't really make sense.
Right, right.
So yeah, you can let it go.
Okay.
I feel, Keith, that you have some creeping anxiety of what you might have to be asked to understand, or like, are you worried about the next cameo appearance that will or needle drop that
Break
will
the brain.
force you to know some lore, know some connection?
Maybe. I mean, I guess maybe. I don't know. Like yeah.
I do think he's not like he's trying to not overplay it. I think he's just trying to do the connective universe thing within a reasonable amount, which is the only guideline we can really ask for. And the whole making sense or not thing, I mean, it's
Yeah.
Peacemaker and Rick Flag. Like people don't even know who Peacemaker is. Like
Right, right, right.
if
I
they're
mean, and honestly, that's probably more comics than comics, right? Like the notion, especially back in the day when you and I were reading comics religiously, like
Hmm,
picking up an issue of Batman and picking up an issue of like Justice League International and picking up an issue like wildly different tones. The writers
mm-hmm.
aren't communicating with one another. No one
Yeah,
knows what's happening. Batman is one way in one book, he's another way in another book. Like
yeah,
that's how comics used to be.
yeah. It's a fluid thing. It's not never gonna sync up like perfectly. I mean, some people may want it to, but
Yeah.
that's an exercise in insanity. Or and don't
Don't worry about it.
don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about nothing. I don't like it is weird. It is weird that it's front loaded with Superman and Peacemaker. I mean, maybe that's what you're bumping up against. That's just a weird pair.
Right. Because I did not
Superman.
watch Creature Commandos to be
Peacemaker,
completely
yeah,
transparent.
and we didn't watch Creature Commandos. That's animated. It can't possibly be in the same universe. Oh, wait, it can. Like stuff like that. I don't know. Um, I'm not stressing it. It's just it's a thing of timing. You know, that Peacemaker show. I can't believe we've spent this long talking about Peacemaker. I mean, thinking about who's the, it's like, I mean, just as a character in comics, you know what I mean?
Right, right. No, I mean,
How did we even get to be talking about Peacemaker this
thank you,
much?
James Gunn, I guess. Like making it like it's the same guy made us talk about a raccoon in a tree for 10 years.
Absolutely. But that's one of his cards he plays, you know what I mean?
Right. He's
And
good
that's
at that.
cool. So right now he's got maybe the A-list character and one of the D-list
The DS
characters
Z-list character.
that you could possibly have. And, you know, they both have live action shows. Go
Well,
figure.
and that's the thing, like, when I was in my second viewing of Superman, like not the first preview viewing where it's like all nerds. Like this is opening weekend, the normies are out in the theaters. And one of the biggest pops is when Peacemaker makes his cameo in Superman. And you
Mm-hmm.
realize, holy shit, people, I don't know if it's a pop because it's Peacemaker or they understand it's John Cena. Like there's a little bit of that, but like it was a clear cheer from the crowd
Mm-hmm.
when
Yeah.
Peacemaker shows up in Superman. And it's just like, it's wild at the end of the day to think about such a Z-list character being recognized by normies.
It is pretty wild. Uh
But yeah, here
I,
we are. We're kicking off this up. I mean, like I said, the biggest takeaway for me from Comic-Con was Peacemaker's season 2 trailer. And I
okay.
mean, not a lot of other things came out. George Lucas announced his museum. That was cool. He was at Comic-Con for the first time.
Yeah, that that's a very George Lucas move, and that's cool. It looks like a big spaceship. The museum does, I guess.
I'd visit it.
Good. Yeah, looks good. Yeah, I don't know all what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, but well, the thing about I think Hollywood decoupling itself from Comic Con is that it's allowing the comics to take front and center. So like DCKO, I don't know if you're following like the news behind that. That's the big crossover event in DC where all the heroes are going to like engage in some sort of fighting tournament to
Yeah.
gain Omega energy to take on Darkseid.
Okay.
That sounds interesting, I guess.
Like Contest of Champions.
I
Do you remember
guess.
that one? Okay.
Marvel announced a big crossover event that it's slipping my mind what it was called, but we should do more comics coverage at the Nerds of Color. But just need to find people to read comics, I guess.
We're talking about Comic-Con, right?
Comic-Con, yeah, comic books taking backseat at Comic-Con. That's been the issue for the last 20 years, and they're now finally
Yeah.
trying to come back.
I remember Peacemaker died in Crisis on Earth 12. It was very, very, very brutal panel where one of the shadow demons gets him. So I just think that solves the continuity right there. Okay, definitively Peacemaker doesn't exist.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
comics. So,
I'll go with that. I'll go with
all
that.
right.
Because we all know Superman's making a cameo in at some point this season. Like that's so
Sure,
telegraphed. It's almost
yeah, sure, why not?
um. Well, he
And
dropped the F-bomb when he's on Peacemaker is the real question.
yeah, someone brought the other day, like, oh, should I take my 9 and 12-year-old to see Superman? And I actually didn't know what to tell him because I was thinking while watching movies, like, it's not exactly for kids. Yeah, did you have this thought? I mean, they do say he's like fucking shit and stuff like that.
Well,
Both
he doesn't say
Superman and
fuck,
Alexa.
but there are a couple shit. I mean, super shit is one of the funniest
He
jokes.
says something like crap or
yeah. Well,
anyway.
Superman himself doesn't curse. So he's like, I mean, that's kind of one of the running gags is that like his first word in the movie is golly, So
I feel almost certain in the last scene with Lexi at least says crap, but am I making that up? Maybe I'm making
I
that
mean, he
up.
may say crap. I mean, he said. I mean, Superman. The only time Superman himself curses is that when he gets mad at Lois for bringing up hashtag super shit. But again, which is one of the funniest scenes in the movie.
Mm,
And then
okay.
towards the middle when he's being kryptonite poisoned, he says he remembers the dictator's stench of his piss stench when he was flying him out over the desert. It's like
Okay.
Superman saying the word piss is probably the most controversial thing that he says in the movie,
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, one of the beautiful things about this Superman movie is that it is truly an all quadrant, all ages film. I think.
Okay. Yeah, no, I
I
was
think it's
asking.
the throwback to like family films from like the 80s and 90s.
It has that family film thing. But I will argue not as much as the other one. But anyway, you
Well,
segue however you
so let
want.
me we can use that segue, or we can use the point you brought up earlier. Is that 1 year? We're almost exactly 1 year from Robert Downey Jr. unmasking himself as Doctor Doom in at Comic-Con
Yeah.
and setting this next phase of the Marvel universe. And we get kind of like a culmination finally 1 year later. Not a Doctor Doom movie because that's coming out next year, but we got Fantastic Four First Steps that debuted this weekend, made 120 million dollars. Um, Biggest Marvel movie debut this year, and there've been 3 Marvel movies this year, which is
Mm,
you know
yeah.
no more no more superhero movies for the rest of the year, which is kind of crazy to think about
Hmm.
this superhero glut we've been in for the last several years, and now all 4 of them have come out. No more superhero movies.
Mm.
And yeah, it came out. And what was your initial reaction to Fantastic Four?
Oh, Fantastic Four First Steps. I thought it was really good. I was surprised at how much I like Fantastic Four. I I don't know what I was expecting, but I thought it was great. I thought it was way better than Superman. So that's my gauntlet to throw down.
Yes. Well, you know,
Uh,
it's not often this show becomes a debate podcast, but we might have to this week because I did
okay,
not think it was better than Superman. I
okay,
liked it. I liked Superman more. Now, this is where listeners at home, I think Dominic is very much a Marvel guy at the end of the day. If you had to choose,
yeah. There's
like
that
Spider-Man
aspect.
is your go-to.
Sure.
I'm very much a DC guy. We are
Mm-hmm.
Coke and Pepsi when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to superheroes. So that might be what's coloring why I put Superman above Fantastic Four. Because at the end of the day, and I'm not saying I didn't like Fantastic Four. I just thought Superman was better. But at the end of the day, both of these movies are serving the exact same purpose, right? They're and it's funny that they came out within like 2 weeks of each other. But they're DC and Marvel's kind of like kickstart to a different kind of movie universe. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like Marvel's kind of using Fantastic Four to kind of reset,
Yeah,
hopefully. And this is where
absolutely.
maybe my issues might be coming in. It's not with the
Mm-hmm.
movie itself, but like its place in the grand scheme of things.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we just talked about how the DC universe is using Superman to reset its universe and
Yes.
reestablish its tone and its like just acceptance in the normal population, right? Like both of these movies had these baggages placed upon them.
Yeah, these agendas, one could say.
Yeah.
And yes, I noticed those parallels. But I think Fantastic Four does a really good job of resetting some of the noise in the Marvel universe in a way that is both like surprising and also duh, which is what you want out of a movie. But William Goldman would say surprise inevitable, but also surprising. They just said it in the past again, like that Captain America arc. Set up a world where you can get oriented in the world a little bit and focused on just a few people instead of, a whole bunch of people. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just it's just more focused in a bunch of ways. Um, it also borrows a lot from, Iron Man 1 and, you know, Star Wars, the good old mainstay Star Wars in terms of structure and how it builds the world and the characters. And anyway, but this is all this is all pretentious structural hoo-ha. What are you getting at, Keith?
Well, no, I
Uh,
mean, why did I not like it as much as Superman, or what did I
well,
bump up against?
is that do we agree? We agreed on the point they're both reestablishing
Oh, 100%.
the two universes.
Yes, 100%.
For me, like, okay, how can I say this? Like for me, Superman was more like it was a little bit like trying to be for the youngs and the younger generations in a certain way. And I just contrast that with Fantastic Four because while I'm watching, I was going, "This is for middle-aged people."
Oh yeah.
Sorry, you
One,
know
yeah.
what I mean?
I
You
mean,
know what
it's
I mean?
it's for
The
people who
whole
know who
vibe.
Jack Kirby is. Yeah.
Yes, the whole vibe is for still skewing older demographic of Marvel fans who think about the 60s, the Kirby era, the sort of that genesis of it all. I mean, d- you know what I'm saying? I mean, because otherwise you're looking at that movie's just about a bunch of boomers in the alternate universe, right?
Yeah.
Who else gets like, "Oh, the 60s. Oh,
Right.
that's us, right? That's not the youngers, generally
Right. No, I
speaking."
get. I mean, and it's like a retro futuristic '60s. It's like the Jetsons.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just the '60s. That's why they said it in Earth 828. Is that this is as if the '60s were actually, progressive and people.
Yeah.
There are all types of nationalities and ethnicities hanging out together and driving bubble, flying cars and
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's all I'd say. I think it was more aimed for that demographic,
idealistic.
and I
Right.
think it hit it. Um,
And I will say this. I think if I were, not to make this a Superman versus Fantastic Four
oh,
podcast,
let's do it. I
but
mean,
let's do it. I
let's.
would give points. I would give the point to Fantastic Four in terms of production design.
Mm,
I
yeah,
think production value and production design, even though like Metropolis is this alternate reality, it's not meant to be, set on our Earth, and it's fantastical. I think design wise, yeah, Fantastic Four knocks it out of the park. And I also like appreciate, and maybe this is just a reflection of like Disney money versus like Warner Brothers money, but like the number of extras on the streets of New York City
hmm,
make it feel like a big city. Whereas like I just felt like every scene in Metropolis there was only like 20 people
yeah.
at any given moment, and it's almost like you would think Metropolis would be more crowded.
Well, that's funny. Yeah, you don't really have, Metropolis, not a real place. New York City, real place. So let's start there. I don't know what you think the population density is in Metropolis, actually,
But
like
you would just think
supposed to.
Metropolis would be denser than it appears in Superman.
Okay, well, I can't speak to what all the extras and stuff. I mean, yeah. It was weird that one part where the monster's stomping down and he's only going to hit a dog. That implied that was a lucky thing. But the production design is beautiful and it all feels of a pace of it all feels of a piece because it's paced. Unlike a lot of the Marvel stuff I've been seeing lately, which is sort of edited very haphazard, again to serve the lore and all the call
Mhm.
outs. I don't know, it just has this sort of flow from beginning to end.
That is one thing I did bump up on with Fantastic Four is I did feel like the editing was a little choppier. To me, it felt choppier
Okay.
than I was hoping for. Like the I know that they use visual cues to like denote the passage of time because a lot of time passes in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a really short. It's actually 20 minutes shorter than Superman. It's like only 155. It's a very short film, but it covers like at least. I mean, it literally covers 4 years if you count the post credit sequence.
Mm.
but
Yeah.
but like from the Reed and Sue finding. Oh, spoilers by the way. If we haven't,
Yeah, lots of spoilers.
we're
No,
gonna we're gonna spoil Fantastic
yeah,
Four.
we're just talking about production design before. Now we'll talk
Now we're
about
gonna get
plot
into like
points.
story points. But like the beginning of the film, they find out they're pregnant, and and they travel to some intergalactic space to meet Galactus, which takes enormous amount of time, and then coming back, building all of the bridge technology.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was every film's got its weird comic science, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
you have to kind of suspend disbelief. To me, it was like building all of these magical sky beams in the amount
Okay.
of time that they do was a little, but fine, it's
No,
whatever.
I agree with you. That part was stupid. I
And then transporting the Earth to another solar system was very 60s like comic book science, right?
Yeah, that also was stupid. I'm saying this as someone who loved the movie. Those
Right,
two
right.
things were
And then
stupid.
like so like all of that happening in the span of time that it does, I do think some things get short shrift. One of the things that I felt got short shrift was like Johnny and Ben. I wished I wanted more of
Mm,
them,
sure.
but I also understand that like the other Fantastic Four movies spent a lot of time on Ben and Johnny, and you never really get Reed and Sue. And this was a very much a Reed and Sue movie, which,
Yeah.
Again, this is the fourth Fantastic Four, fifth if you count the Roger Corman. So it's got a lot of that to retrofit and reconcile to, where we want to be the definitive Fantastic Four story. I could have done without Subterranean Mole Man. I thought that was silly. Didn't love that. I know though, a lot of people do apparently, and I'm just the Ebenezer Scrooge on that whole sequence. But I just thought it was dumb.
Scrooge versus Mole Man. Yeah, that'd be delightful. What was the I slightly lost my train of thought.
So I was just talking about just the pacing. Like, I mean, the escape from Galactus was thrilling, but I don't know. I felt like it felt choppier than it needed to be. I think there was some scenes that needed a little more breathing room.
Okay.
To really understand.
Yeah, possible. I was gonna say about so the midpoint part with deciding we're gonna build all this stuff and shift the Earth to pocket dimension. With that, I can see that was one of the most ridiculous parts. The that borrowed quite a bit from Third Body Problem conceptually. Do you know Third Body Problem?
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of little touches, both from Third Body Problem and from Star Wars: A New Hope, that I think were like science fiction touches, and I think that cohered the whole movie. Do you know what I mean? It became more like a cool like science fiction family adventure movie, and not just like a superhero movie. Do you know?
Right.
You know what I mean? And for me, that really worked. There's a alien threat coming from far away. We have to build stuff on Earth, and we have some time to do it, and that kind of thing. And then the whole assembling and escaping the Galactus thing was very, very Star Warsy in a couple of ways.
But and then like I said, comic book science, it's fine. I'm kind of just making fun of it at the point, but like, if anyone remembers the CW Flash show, they would like build very high tech technology in a matter of minutes on that show too. Like Cisco would be like, "Oh, Barry, you just need a quantum enforcing, thingamajig. I'll have it to you in 30 minutes." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So yeah, the comic book science is not a serious critique about that. It was just something, to me, it was reflective of the pacing issues that I was having.
Okay.
Where they just kind of jump forward pretty quickly and not give you a lot of time to orient yourself.
Okay. Well, but here's what I was gonna say. Like when with all the ads came out, she kept saying family or emphasizing family over and over again. And I was expecting to be cynical about that and like not like buy into that. But I thought the family thing was really moving, actually.
Well, again, if we're going to compare Superman and Fantastic Four, that's another point I give that of Fantastic Four. The Sue speech where she delivered, like, they're again, not just the fact that they've been tasked to like restart their universes for their big companies, but even like narratively they're very similar. Like they both start in media res. They're both established superheroes at the beginning of the movie. Like, you don't but at a certain point, the public shifts their opinion about them. They start hating the superhero, and then the superhero has to give like a speech to change the public's conception of them, right?
Yeah.
And if you recall, 2 weeks ago, one of the scenes I liked the least, even though it's gotten a lot of like, praise online, is Superman's speech at the end. I just felt it would work better in a speech bubble on a comic page than it does delivered as dialogue in a movie. Whereas I think Sue's speech, "I will not give up my child for this planet, but I will not give up this planet for my child," or the other way around, was very effective. That's where the whole "we'll do this as a family" trailer line comes from. And I thought it was well done, well delivered, made sense in the context of the movie.
And it was like a real moral quandary. I mean, it could have, you arguably it's a little contrived, but like that was a good dramatic situation they set up. Your kid or the planet? Are you heroes or not?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
It's the
And
Spock Kirk one the many outweigh the few.
very much like that, yes.
And it was a
Uh,
very much a Kobayashi Maru where it was like, what if we just moved the whole planet and not sacrificed anybody?
okay, now it's becoming like Star Trek versus Star Wars. But also, okay, all those things are relevant. No, Reed having the idea to move the planet was a bad idea. I'm so glad they get through it. Shit was crazy. It's like, oh yeah, that's gonna work. We're not accidentally gonna drop the planet into a black hole or something. Yeah, Reed, keep them coming. Never, I think at all. I did love. I'm a big Invisible Woman fan in the
Mhm.
comics. For her powers and her story and the symbolism attached and all the reasons. And again, I was pleasantly surprised with how taken I was with Vanessa Kirby just owning it. She's one of those. She's British, right?
Yeah.
She's one of those British actors who can do an English accent or do an American English accent like nothing, right? Just like
Mhm.
no problem. What state is it? And she drops in, seems totally natural. And motherhood. I mean, come on, like she freaking gives birth on the ship while they're running away from Galactus, which is like Star Trek reboot, yes,
Right, right.
and also just freaking awesome.
Yeah.
If you have a heart made of something other than cold sun kryptonite, or no?
No, I'm saying the escape from Galactus was probably the most thrilling part of the whole film. And meeting Galactus, like my favorite part of the film, I think, is that whole sequence when Silver Surfer first arrives, and the scene from the trailer. I herald your beginning, his beginning. I herald your end.
Yeah,
I herald Galactus. She was great. Julie Garner as
uh,
Shala Ball,
Silver Surfer,
amazing.
excellent.
And then like when the four decide to confront Galactus, like his introduction,
Yeah.
wild. That was better than when he arrives on Earth. I thought his arrival on Earth was less effective as when they went to go see him. He was
Mm,
very intimidating. Ralph Ineson, perfect casting as Galactus, his voice, his mannerisms. I mean, I think casting, I'll give them, like, one of my favorite things about Superman was the casting. I thought Brosnahan, Corn Sweat, Hulk, perfect as all
yeah.
of their respective characters. Eddie Gathegi is terrific. I think casting here, Kirby, 100%. Fittingly, they cast a Kirby to be
Yeah,
the
yeah,
perfect
that
cast.
was funny. Yeah, I
Um,
initially thought that was how she got the part, but it turns out not. That's not the case at all.
not a nepo baby,
Yeah.
just happened to be the same name. I think Eben Ross Bacharach. That's why I wanted more Thing because I loved his take on Ben Grimm.
Hmm.
Loved Julie Garner as Silver Surfer. Less so Pedro and Joseph Quinn. Didn't love them as much as I wanted to.
Yeah.
As Reed and Johnny respectively. So like I think they were misses in a little bit. Like I don't know. There's just something about them. I still think Joseph Quinn looks too much like a young Robert Downey Jr. And I think that's what was throwing me off the entire time.
That's funny.
Especially now that RDJ is Doctor Doom as well. Like it was just frying my brain that why is Doctor Doom also Johnny Storm? And then Pedro, like I don't know if it's just like because he's everywhere.
Mm.
I never saw Reed Richards. I just saw Pedro Pascal
Mm.
as a dad again.
Yeah,
I saw Joel from The Last of Us and Din Djarin from The Mandalorian.
Yeah, he's a dad again, but he's doing a different thing in this movie.
He's doing a different thing, but it's still I don't know. Like, not that I wanted John Krasinski or anybody like that. I just felt like he did not scream Reed Richards to me.
Right. So
I don't know if it's because I'm still holding on hope that William Jackson Harper will become Reed Richards eventually, but
alternate universes, it's still not out of the question. But yeah, okay. But so you're holding on to a sort of a some kind of fan concept, and I agree that Pedro Pascal doesn't fit sort of what we comic fans think Mr. Fantastic is about, right? There's some,
yeah,
but
I don't know what it is. I mean, I think they're like to me, and granted, I'm not the biggest Fantastic Four comics fan either. Like I have certain conceptions and I know certain aspects of their story and their personalities. like Reed being a dick is part of, like, to me, what his personality in the comics is.
Mm-hmm.
Like an aloof jerk, you know. And he's kind of that. Like the one, again, a great scene is when he's like, I spend all my time thinking of all the bad things to prevent them.
Yeah.
And then Sue is like, well, that's what hurts me the most. And that's a
Yeah.
totally effective scene. But I don't know. Just I didn't love Pedro as Mr.
Oh, I liked him a lot because I know I look at a different way, like as product of seeing him in like 8 different things a week.
Right.
You notice that the guy does act from movie to movie.
Sure,
like,
sure.
He's
yeah,
not
he's not. Yeah, he's not playing. He's not like Jim Carrey where he's just playing himself in every movie.
Yeah, he's not just doing his bit. He's thinking about this one. And I think in this one I think he was trying to do a certain period, what they call it, Northeast Atlantic accent that made him sound a little bit more, I don't know, hoity-toity or something. And maybe that was just a choice that sounds odd to some people, but I thought it was effective.
You know, maybe this is again the benefit of when you cast non-famous people.
Well,
like
yeah,
Rachel
there's a lot of
Brosnahan and David
associations.
Cornsweet are not, like, their faces are not everywhere.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
So when you see David Cornsweet, you see Superman. When you see Rachel Brosnahan, you see Lois.
Absolutely. If you, yeah.
And I think my issue with Pedro Pascal is I saw Pedro Pascal because
As
he's so omnipresent. Even if he's doing great work, my brain could not.
Yeah,
I could not get lost in the character.
No, he has that thing. And I. Yeah. Okay.
No, I mean, yeah, that's just my. Yeah.
I mean, I think
I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just saying that's what I.
I think the whole focus on Mr. Fantastic thing is just part of it. For example, like they're always talking about how supposedly Mr. Fantastic is leading the Avengers in the next couple Avengers movies. You saw that concept floated.
Yeah.
I did. And that's like the safe comics thing that would happen. Yeah, he's the leader guy. But also, why? Why don't you have Invisible Woman lead the Avengers? You cowards.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, clearly...
Why wouldn't you have Invisible Woman and Captain Marvel lead all the Avengers?
We know why.
We know why.
It's not the MCU, Dominic. We're reclaiming the MCU for us men.
Quote. Can you put quotes under that?
Someone clip that and
someone's gonna clip that and then we're done. We meant the reverse of that.
Sarcasm is lost on the youngins, I guess.
The first thing lost in the internet space. But anyway, so I thought, but you know what I'm saying? I just want to throw that out there because it's really, you know. Yeah, yes, we all expect Mr. Fantastic, Pedro Pascal will be the leader figure, but in the way the movie plays out, he is just like a guy who's there.
Yeah.
No, I mean he's the
no,
dad,
no, you're
obviously.
absolutely. I mean, here's the thing, and this might be the main reason why I could not turn my brain off about Fantastic Four and just enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that even though it's meant to reset and it's set in a completely alternate universe, it's not tied to the MCU. It still is. And that's the thing that I bristle against. That as great as the production value and the chemistry between most of the actors, at the end of the day, it said so at the end of the credits. You will next see them in Avengers Doomsday. And that just fills me with dread. Like Avengers Doomsday, I am not thrilled for that film at all. Like, I'm just worried that it's going to be a clusterfuck.
Interesting.
You know?
Doomsday is in the title.
Yeah, no, but I just think it doesn't help that, to your point about like internet news, that Rebecca Romaine was like recently interviewed about her role in the film, and she was like, "Oh, I don't know, they haven't finished the script." You know, that's the very Marvel way of making movies. Is like, we'll make it up as we go along.
Well, yeah, no, they're gonna shoot one ending and then shoot a better one, like they did in Endgame.
Yeah. So that's what I'm worried about. Like, is all the goodwill that Vanessa Kirby and folks have generated, It's the Rise of Skywalker syndrome. Now we're giving them to these other people.
Well, you have high MCU anxiety syndrome.
I
don't
do.
know what to say.
I
There's
feel like
something going
I have no trust in that
on.
franchise. I don't
Yeah,
anymore.
no, we understand their issues, but to, to me, Fantastic Four was corrective on so many levels. This is, I'm calling it like my fourth favorite MCU film. Yeah, I was surprised because I didn't like any of the. No, I mean, it's not like I didn't like the last five, but I didn't like, wasn't really enthralled. I
The
like
last
parts of
five
the,
Marvel movies.
yeah, the last five or six. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So what, however many there have been
Well,
since
post Endgame
Endgame.
Marvel movies have not been great.
Yeah, they've been like they've been okay. This one I thought was wow. This one I thought was excellent. I think it tapped into the Iron Man thing again. Like let's tell a story from the start, and to me, like it was all very well composed.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, yeah, that's another. Let me also give it flowers there. Cinema. I always have a hard time saying this word.
it's not a word people actually say. It's got 18 syllables.
Yeah,
The camera work.
cinematography is great.
The
The
camera work.
cinematography is great.
Yeah, it is.
The color palette could have been brighter, but it does suffer a little bit of like everything's kind of brown and gray. But when it does have like the pop of color, like Johnny and Shalabal in space, that's a beautiful shot.
Yeah, they did that so well, like a dogfight.
Even
Like
Galactus, like
Star Wars.
although I thought some of the Galactus on Earth stuff was goofy, I did appreciate like treating Galactus as a kaiju. I thought that was
Yeah.
cool.
No, I think okay, and if you're as far as inherent biases, I've always wanted to see the little team against big monster scene in Marvel. I love those ones when there's basically when there's a really big guy and didn't get it in Eternals exactly. So my fan service was serviced by, yay, it's giant Galactus. And they really made a game effort of fighting him.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really well done. Even Reed gets in there with his useless stretchy powers. And
Never understood that. Why is the smartest man in the universe stretchy? Is there like because the
oh,
cosmic rays were supposed to enhance like your something innate about you, right? Wasn't that Stanley's thing?
well, yeah, but
So why?
according to my Stan Lee lore, they wanted them to be the four elements, and one had to be water. He's like water, like Bruce Lee.
Oh,
Thing, rock,
right.
Human Torch, fire, Invisible Woman, air,
Light,
and
light, air.
yeah, and no, the qualities. I mean,
Sure,
the
sure, sure.
elemental qualities, not the literal qualities. And he's like water. So, and that's just like a visual design thing, which makes the Fantastic Four so powerful on a subconscious level. That's deep shit. Kirby and Stan Lee. That nailed something that everyone because four elements are very powerful. Uh, so that's why Fantastic Four pops off the page, just in this kind of um, what's the word I'm looking for? Deep, deep way.
Not just visually, right?
Deep human consciousness way. We're conscious of what's going on there.
I did appreciate the nod to the Fantastic Four #1 with the mole, like wasn't the Mole Man
yeah, the cover.
issue,
It
but
was
the covers that
recreated, basically.
right with that giant monster that they're fighting. Yeah, no, like, and yeah, now that I think about it, Superman and Fantastic Four being the films to restart their universes makes sense because Superman was the first DC hero, and for all intents and purposes, the
Yeah,
Fantastic Four are the first Marvel family, right? Like they are the kicked off the Marvel age with
yeah, I
Fantastic
believe
Four
so.
#1.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't get it twisted. I liked it fine. I did not love it as much as you did.
I pretty much loved it.
And I did not love it as I loved Superman. I walked out of Superman with a big old smile on my face. And
Yeah,
nothing in Fantastic Four did that for me.
yeah.
That's the difference, I think.
I know they're so yeah. Well, maybe I'm just thinking about babies or something. I don't know.
But here's the difference. It goes back to the whole cinematic universe bullshit. I walked out of Superman excited to see the next chapter. That's why maybe the Peacemaker
Okay.
trailer kind of restarted my anxiety. I was like, oh wait, what? Now I have to go back and I thought this was all new, and now I have to go back and reconcile Peacemaker season 1 and all that shit, right? But like
Hmm.
coming out of the movie, I was like, oh, Supergirl's gonna be awesome, and I can't wait to
Hmm.
see how this universe populates.
Okay.
I walked out of Fantastic Four because especially with the mid-credit sequence where they spoiler show Doom,
Bit of
I
Doctor
guess,
Doom they show,
kidnapping
yeah,
Franklin, right?
yeah.
And that's why I walked out of that going, oh yeah, that's right.
Right, but that's gonna be cool, man. I'm gonna see how our Marvel DC divide really evolves over the next couple of years because we're already, these we're back to the beginning, Keith. This is the beginning. It's like 2008. We've got the starter pack movies again, and now and we have very different perspectives on them.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I mean, I hope. Here's the thing, though. I want Doomsday to be good. I'm just worried it's not.
I don't know how you can even make that assessment now. Okay.
Well, because I was not. I was already not thrilled when they cast Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. That was
hmm
already portended bad things for me. Like,
I,
you know.
oh, okay. Why? Okay.
But so let's get this. And I think we talked about it last year, and I just don't remember. What is your like opinion of bringing back Robert Downey Jr. to play Victor Von Doom?
Oh, Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. Um, yes, because Robert Downey Jr. can act. Is it like
You don't think it's a creatively bankrupt
fan service?
idea?
It would be if Robert Downey Jr. wasn't an actor. It would be if he sucked as an actor, but he does not. He may actually be using this as an acting challenge as he does. I don't know if that sounds corny, but like he so sold us on this character of this sort of flawed hero guy, rich guy. Here's his chance to show the other side of that character, which is the same character, a powerful tech guy who is supposedly the evil one. We should be looking at stuff like that. That's interesting. Um, you have this expression on your face like you never want to see Robert Downey Jr. again in your life.
Well, I kind of don't.
I
Kind of
think it's
tired of. I mean, yeah, because I guess my thing is, and this is where I was a year ago when everyone like lost their shit when he took his mask off. Is I'm just worried he's playing Tony Stark with a Latvian accent.
okay. Yeah, sure. No, if it's just like an Iron Man rehash, like that does suck. It's got to be if we he's got to somehow get us to understand what Doctor Doom is about, and it's got to be different. Uh, if no, I sort of understand that,
Sorry,
but
I'm bringing you down to my level. I'm bringing you down to Subterranea.
that's fine. That's fine, mole man. We I think we are both literally in basements right now, but look, it has really it has good potential, and also, I the the scene where Pedro Pascal wraps his stretchy body all around Doctor Doom, who's being played by Robert Downey Jr. Oh, it's just gonna be fun, good homoerotic fun. Who does not want to see that? I may be alone in wanting to see that.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. So
um,
I mean, I guess at the end of the day, the Marvel movies still have to like serve each other, and I think that's where I'm kind of out on cinematic universes. One of the exciting things about the new DC universe, apparently, and we kind of touched on it with Peacemaker and Superman, is that there is, James Gunn has said this, there isn't any kind of like mandate that they all have to look the same and kind of be the same, right? Like if you look at the films that have been announced, like we're getting Supergirl next year, we're getting a Lanterns show in which Hal and John are like earthbound true detective style, which is kind of fascinating to me, like doing a Green Lantern detective story, like murder mystery apparently. And then Clayface is going to be
hmm,
like this body horror standalone set in the DC
hmm.
universe. So like there's this idea that they're kind of letting the directors and filmmakers make the kind of movie they want. They just happen to be in the same universe. And that's the exciting thing about Fantastic Four. Like on its own, yes, I think it's great, but kind of shoehorning that into the rest of the MCU is where I'm
Yeah. Well,
feeling a little trepidation. Like this has to exist
but
with Thunderbolts and Brave New World and all that other stuff.
uh, okay. I mean, that's what the Marvel movies did first with getting like
Right, 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 right.
committed, focused writer directors with the concept. yeah, they fell off from that a little bit. And I mean, I don't know. I love the Russo brothers. They're the best at the Marvels movies. It comes back to that for me.
Yeah. No, I'm not trying to yuck your yum. You're excited. These are the anxieties I'm bringing into
Yeah,
my Marvel
I can tell.
consumption.
I can tell that, and I think it's very interesting. And no, like I get it. There's a like I can see like where like Fantastic Four what could be underwhelming, or I just I don't know, maybe I brought my own baggage to it that helped me really like it by
No, yeah, I'm glad.
surprisingly.
I'm very happy that you loved this movie because I think it's been a while since you've loved a movie. So,
Yeah.
so
I mean,
I'm not,
especially the superhero movies.
right.
Um, no, I mean, because it just yeah, I don't know, I don't say it.
Change your mind, Dominic.
No, I've just said a bunch of things I was trying to encapsulate. Yeah, was okay, was Natasha Lyonne Alicia or was she
No,
Frankie?
that's another thing. She was not Alicia, and that I was curious about that, like why they decided to. I think they created a new character. What I read is they based her on Jack Kirby's actual wife.
Oh, okay,
So there
okay.
may not be an Alicia Masters in this universe at all.
Okay. Also, do you remember Frankie? I thought she might be Frankie.
Yeah, the thing her name is Rosalind, and she's
Oh,
based
okay.
on Jack Kirby's wife.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
one cool thing let me give some more flowers to Fantasy Four. The cool thing about the reveal at the end, why it's Earth 828, is that August 28th is Jack Kirby's birthday. That was a cool touch when they end it with Jack Kirby's quote.
Yeah, yeah. That was
Um,
nice.
I like that. Still, I don't think Marvel credits Jack Kirby enough for what, but that's a Stan Lee Jack Kirby thing, Steve
Hmm.
Ditko thing that goes back generations
Yeah,
between
yeah,
their disagreements. Because Stan Lee, until he passed, very much credited in every Marvel movie.
yeah.
The Steve
Literally in
Ditko's
most of them.
and actually in them, the Jack Kirby's and the Steve Ditko's never got the credit that they were due. So it's nice to see that. But but yeah, I'm glad to see Jack Kirby getting the love. I'm more excited for Mr. Miracle eventually. I think
Hmm.
I also my DC bias. I prefer Jack Kirby's New Gods stuff more
Hmm.
than his Marvel stuff. So
Yeah. Well, Jack Kirby's neat, and that's the way it all comes together because he did all of it. He made
right.
all the Marvel DC stuff basically if we're
Yeah,
going.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, give or take. Uh, uh, sorry, I didn't mean to. I know that's not factually correct, but I mean
No, but
it
the
does.
cool stuff you like from DC, other than like the original Trinity, is mostly Jack Kirby stuff, and the
He
cool
was
stuff,
there.
and everything Marvel is Jack Kirby.
Yeah,
So
he's building the visual vocabulary, which they used in Fantastic Four a lot, kind of really effectively. I mean, when they go into Galactus' ship, you can see panels from Kirby and also from John Byrne, and
yeah.
that's
I will say I love the uniforms. I like the sweater look. It does
what?
evoke like the way that Kirby drew the lines on their costumes when they
Yes,
first debuted. And I love that they gave us real Galactus, not a cloud in the sky.
yeah.
That was cool. Um, yeah, as I said, production value, production design, it's head and shoulders above most comic book movies. I think leaning into the Kirbiness is what they should have done all along. And honestly, um, but I just want to, and
Hmm.
I think Eben Moss backrep was so good. I just wanted to see more of the Thing, and I'd like to see the Thing. Like they hint at it a little bit, and maybe again we got a lot of that in the first three movies where like it all follows Ben Grimm's depression for three
Hmm.
movies.
Right.
But I wanted a little bit more of that. Like you mentioned the Natasha Lyonne character, like there was some stuff there that I felt like, oh, give me more of that. Give me more of the
Sure.
longing for the human touch, and give me more of the, there's a beautiful scene that was in the trailer that was just a flash in the movie, where he's watching himself on the television, and it cuts off, and then you see the reflection of the Rocky face in the window. Like that's beautiful Ben Grimm, like, you know,
it is
pathos that I wanted more of.
Yeah, I thought given that they have to follow four different characters, they balanced it very well. I think I would just say they told it in short, small strokes, and I love that. And do we notice he's cooking all the time?
That was a shout out. That was a shout out to the bear. I was assuming, right? Like,
yeah. No, I thought it was really well balanced.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. Eben Moss-Bachrach, one of my favorite actors. He's great in The Punisher. He's great in Andor. He's great on The Bear, and he's great in Fantastic Four.
He's one of those really good nerdy actors.
Yeah.
So also some non-nerdy movies too. Great. I was just checking.
So, yep, that's our recap of Fantastic Four, setting the foundation for the future of the future foundation for the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. I have to say one thing. I don't. I don't. You're really worried about the interconnected thing, but that hasn't actually loomed its head yet. You're just projecting it.
I am.
Okay. It's a it works as a self-contained movie.
Yes.
Better than
I should say that. Yeah.
Most of the Marvel movies have recently. Way better. It's more self-contained than the last like 6 or 7 of them. And the only connective tissue that, okay, you do really have to worry about is probably the whole thing involves Franklin Richards, right? Probably some large thing involves Franklin Richards, who, for, non-comics fans, Franklin Richards is one of
most
those
powerful being in the universe.
He can do anything. Invisible Woman is pretty close to superpower, omnipotent, but that's another story. But Franklin Richards can do anything.
He's the biggest Deus Ex Machina that you can have in your story.
So likely he tears open the hole in.
I mean, my assumption is Doom
together.
uses Franklin to create the battle world.
Yeah, that's what would happen. But I'm saying, okay, that's just one thing you got to keep track of so far. So don't worry about it. There's one thing you got to keep track of, and it's just that the baby has omnipotent powers.
What is it? The
baby is super powerful.
The power cosmic.
Yeah, the baby can do anything. And that's all. Okay. That's how we're going to restart the Marvel Universe, with the baby who can do anything.
Right.
And
I mean, and Franklin turns evil in the comics at some point, right?
Franklin?
Doesn't he?
Well, he does a lot of things. It's comics, but there's that one where he impersonates Galactus too, and they called out to that in this Fantastic Four movie. There's one where Franklin kind of becomes Galactus. Doesn't remember. It's this weird. Anyway.
Yeah, well, you can go. There's several rabbit holes to go down when it comes to the comics and everything. So, I mean, look, as comic book fans, as superhero fans, we're eating right now because it's, it shouldn't be a competition between Superman and Fantastic Four. Both are doing what they're supposed to do. They're getting butts in seats and getting the people to appreciate these kinds of movies again. Because I think to what you were saying earlier, like my reservations about even both, Superman and Fantastic Four when it comes to reconciling cinematic universes and all that shit. People were getting tired. Superhero fatigue was real. People were getting tired of having to follow this shit. And to see 2 weeks ago Superman kind of inserting himself into the national conversation, kindness is punk rock being memeified and leading the nightly news as a conversation starter was cool. That's what I appreciated about that movie. And again, Fantastic Four. I think Fantastic Four has it's less zeitgeisty, but it's only been out for 3 days, so who knows? Maybe there's some memeable things coming out of this. But regardless, to your point, being standalone and getting people excited about Marvel again, because there was a fall off, we have to admit, right? So
no, I think the reset aspect, I think that looks promising.
Yeah, I hope. I want it to be. I don't want to be pissy about it, but
one should have hope.
On my world, it means hope. Or actually, no. Well, let's talk about a Superman controversy. We didn't really get into much of the Jor-El shit, but maybe for another episode.
We did last time. I'm still upset by that one. I'm upset because it seems that the main story is the message actually was translated correctly, and it was take over, and even that's fine. But I hate the like we 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 swallow it instantly because Lex Luthor says this video is the video.
Yeah,
What are
well,
we even doing, people? No.
I have to admit, you're right. If I did like bump up on building giant sky beams all over the world in a matter of days, I should also state for the record, it's patently ridiculous that within 24 hours, less than really, not only did they download a message from Krypton, translate it, verify it with every single linguist and computer expert, that even Mr. Terrific was like, there's no way they're lying. Remember, the Superman movie takes place within a week. Every like scene is one day. There was actually a original cut where they had like days of the week title cards.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, it would. I actually think that would have been better, but whatever. Sometimes I hate test screen viewers because like you shouldn't listen to them always, because that's what happened with Fantastic Four was like 20 minutes longer before the test screenings, and now they cut like 20 minutes from it. But anyway, yeah, within a matter of like 12 hours, they verified this message to be legit. It stretches credulity a little bit, but so that will be the last word. Superman, Fantastic Four, see them both, do a double feature, and get your comic book fix. Why can't Marvel and DC just get along? Is the real question. Thought it was crazy that Fantastic Four. No, I won't do the joke. It's a dumb joke.
Okay.
No, that like 4 weeks ago, F1 came out, and there's already an F4. What happened to the other two in between? But
oh wow, that is hilarious. Well, yeah, that's crazy because you know what the other movie came out last week? Freakier Friday. How did F1, Freakier Friday, and Fantastic Four come out within the space of 3 freaking weeks, and none of them is a Fast and Furious movie? That's what I effing want to know.
Yeah, buy your stocks in Fs because man,
yeah, it's the F.
It's the F
universe, basically. just
it's the F and best. Anyway, Dominic, you're on social media still?
Oh yeah, I'm on social media more. So I'm Dama, DOMMAH, Dama on the social medias, and I have a music group called 12 Valentines. We're gonna make some new songs soon, so I'll be blabbing about that more in the near future. And yourself, Keith?
Awesome. Follow the Nerds of Color on all platforms at the Nerds of Color, and go to hardknockmedia.com to listen to this podcast and subscribe to all of the other podcasts. Give us a like and a review. If you do, videos available at youtube.com/the Nerds of Color, and the blog itself still standing strong at thenerdsofcolor.org. Until next time, I've been Keith, that's Dominic, and until then,
I was just looking at my notes for another Fantastic Four rant, but I don't have one right now. So yeah.
Excelsior.